a tradition of explaining the importance of science, but as we start to recognize the role of arts within society, because they're very good communicators, because they add to innovation processes of collaboration, sometimes making real innovations themselves. It's important to stretch that point and to bring it to Parliament in order to make not only European society as such aware, but also our European government.
Interestingly, he's not producing any beta. I thought he'd be a very beta concentrated person. Probably I am at the moment because I've got a headache and I've got lots of coffee in me, but... Yeah, he's controlled the eye movement now. So so it's this massive electrical signature.
Look, that's kind of cool.
We bring in not artists that are painters per se, but artists that have developed within their practice a high level of multilinguality. They speak more than only their artistic language. They also are able to get in touch and level with scientists, which doesn't mean that they are scientists, but they come close. They use scientific knowledge for an artistic practice. They use scientific data for an aesthetic practice. Why is it good that we ask artists to do so is that they are kind of free agents. They're not bound to scientific knowledge production methods. Neither are they bound to programs of science communication or to reaching commercial goals for shareholder value. They are really agents that can show us the way, being very autonomous.
Do an experiment and see what happens. What's the plan? What's your plan for this?
She is the one that's going to do the projection for all.
You're going to do the projection?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want a demonstration?
Yeah.
Holistic kind of investigation. Cameras in the building, and it feeds off the environmental conditions of the building.
We are trying to now translate the signal from the Arduino.
End of life.
A creative idea isn't just the idea, it's like, how am I going to build this? And if I didn't know about computers and how to program them, I wouldn't be able to have those ideas in the same way. Because you learn a concept in programming, and then immediately you'll see like a visual representation of that thing that you just programmed. So to me there's a very close relationship between programming and visual stuff. So it's very important because in the last few years we've been breeding people who can use software, but what we need is people who can actually be in charge of their computers, can actually use their computers for things that they want to do, rather than things that the people that make the software want to do.
You try to make it explode from a distance. You concentrate as much as possible, and you try to see it explode.
It's crazy. Thank you. Understand for myself.
Well, I think we're existing within a time right now in an increasingly technologized world where it no longer really makes sense to start, creating artificial boundaries between technology and cultural practice, art. We get the kind of creative thinking which artists are trained to do, combined with kind of engineering mindsets which technologists are trained in, coming together. So we get a technologist's problem-solving mindset alongside an artist, creative and critical thinking mindset. And that's the type of, if you want, kind of interweaving of skills, which is important if we want to start really tackling kind of the social and environmental challenges that we face today in Europe.
Why is technology interesting for artists as it is actually only a part of reality? Technology is interesting because it is an aesthetic, and that aesthetic is what artists work with, that artists make. They look at reality, this kind of technological reality, and they make a sculpture out of scientific data out of it, or a sculpture out of the cloud that is evolving out of the internet at the moment.
Once they remove my piece, then I go and I reinstall it over and over and over and over again.
I'm very impressed to have all these artists here at Rosar for the last 2 days connecting and introducing their work. It's a pleasure and a great honor for me to welcome you here at the Center for Fine Arts in Brussels for this very first ICT Art Connect event that was developed in partnership with the European Commission. Europe has now reached a stage where challenges such as youth empowerment, exchanges, citizenship are among the top priorities for people.
I feel like I'm joining a public-private partnership, for it is about cooperation and communication, and for me art is the most excellent way to start communication.
How can we build on the discoveries, the discoveries of the last few days, the discussions today going on here? So, artistic voices.
We have to question who is designing these technologies and why are they behave like they do. And I think if you talk about the European narrative, it's really about, in combination to technology, it really should be about bringing the human back in technology, the human perspective, the human dignity.
I'm missing the technologists from actually finding that space for themselves because of the structures that got them up the ladder to be there. And so there's a riff on that we can go into to understand how we embrace what we are doing in technology is already creative. If you want to predict the future, invent it.
Together, if you will see, if you open it to the first page, there is a form, a data form on the first page, which we'd all like you all to fill out.
The artists can, also the artworks can inspire the scientists. So with William Latham, our keynote on the first day of the workshop, his work with evolutionary drawing inspired scientists at IBM, which led them into new research areas. And now he's working with Imperial College, making these strange kind of evolved forms, these sort of digital forms.
This the public square design, this concept of a Publix there, this is strictly opt-in. You give the information you want. We're not tagging and tracking people.
So this idea of getting a tweet back at you of someone who has taken the time to write this on a city wall, and now it's even, in a weird way, feeling more public, right? There's nothing more public than searchable, right? The city's not searchable.
I guess what I learned is you can do more in 2 days than I thought you can do, and you can do more if you give chaos a chance than I thought you can do.
All the projects here will probably lead to longer standing collaborations beyond this only weekend.